Robert Champion wasn't just a member of the band. He was a drum major, one of the high-stomping, gloriously entertaining leaders of the Marching 100. Ricky Wills was his roommate.
Robert, you know, he loved music. He loved doing what he did, especially the drum major, you know. And he always wanted to have the edge on everybody. He would say, "Hey, Ricky, let's go outside. Come on, show me this move right here."
While Ricky and Robert had all sorts of fun on the field, things were very different off of it. That was because hazing at Florida A&M had become a fact of life in the band, and to be accepted and respected by others in the band, you had to go through it. Robert had to start at the front of the bus and make his way through the aisle to the back, dodging a barrage of fists and sticks.
They're trying to get you stuck in a seat.
Ah.
And once you're stuck in a seat, it's very hard to get out because that's when everybody kind of surrounds you.
How many guys are hitting him? Would there be a couple dozen of them, say?
Yeah.
They're fighting to get at him?
I mean, they were hitting him hard. I'm talking haymakers, kidney shots, and they were just, you know, they had percussion sticks. I saw belts. He's just sitting there like a sitting duck. Robert started panicking, you know.
What did he do?
He was like, I can't breathe, need air. And then he started complaining. He said, can't see.
Can't see.
He said he couldn't see. His eyes were wide open. He was looking at us. He said he couldn't see. He started jerking in and out. He was like, you know, trying to gasp for air. He started saying, "Oh Lord Jesus, please help me, please help me." Those were probably the last words he said.
The last words.
Yeah, he started panicking again, and he just kind of like got passed out.
It seemed like any other fraternity party, drinking event, everyone having a good time.
Carson was given a fifth of rum to share with the boy next to him. There was also a bottle or two of Everclear that was passed around.
I remember looking over at Carson and just had this kind of glaze in his eyes.
I noticed that he was becoming more intoxicated.
I could tell that he wasn't all there.
His body was kind of going limp, and
then I saw him sort of like, kind of like drooling out of his mouth, and then I knew he wasn't all right.
He wasn't even sick. He had had so much to drink that it was past that. It wasn't that he just needed to get sick. He needed help.
I saw two people just pick him up and carry him out of the room. Don't think I'll ever forget that.
I raised him for 18 years, and in 20 minutes, he was unresponsive.
I know that they thought about taking him to the hospital and changed their mind.
I think they were just afraid that if they went to the hospital, you know, there would be some sort of legal action against them and possibly him because he's obviously a minor, you know, he's only 18.
They decided that they didn't want to get in trouble, and they decided that he would probably be fine.
And they brought him back inside and put him on a filthy, horrible, disgusting mattress on his side and put a trash can there and left him there.
At some point I asked, like, you know, where did he go? The response was, like, he's inside on the couch. People are taking care of him. Don't worry. So I didn't worry.
Julia was coming down the staircase, screaming and crying that we had had a missed call on our caller ID from the San Luis Obispo County Coroner's Office.
Called home, and my dad answered. He just said Carson is dead.
But there's another side to all this. What's it like hitting someone?
The first year I was able to do it, it felt good.
It felt good?
Yes.
Sort of getting back at what had happened to you the year before?
Yes. The process is so intense that it's brewing. You got your blood boiling for the next person. Like it's a vampire looking for blood.
We asked Ligarian to demonstrate a typical night of hazing for the freshmen, who the upperclassmen call crabs.
So they just keep, wow, fast. And, oof.
That's hard. You're not easing up. That's hard.
It's a competition thing, so the person before me hit him, and the next person gonna come and hit him harder.
Why is it a good tradition?
It kind of builds camaraderie, a brotherhood. We play the same instrument, we ate together, studied together, and got hazed together.
Whitney Casey's report on the high school hazing incident in the suburbs of Chicago, and you can decide yourself whether what you see on tape is actually worse. That's what some of our upcoming guests will say.
Buckets were flying, hands were flying, people were bleeding, girls were unconscious. A girl got a bucket put on her head.
Students at this suburban Chicago high school described the weekend's melee. Caught on tape, the aftermath of a powder puff football game. A tradition, junior girls versus senior girls. Except this year, the hazing got way out of hand, sending 5 girls to the hospital and injuring many more.
Well, this is from a paint can being thrown at me, and Tabasco sauce and vinegar and stuff like that in my eye, and just Spam on my face, and fish guts, pig ears. There's pig intestine wrapped around my neck.
Dr. Michael Riggle, the school principal, says with the help of school deans, authorities have identified 50 of the girls on the tape. Criminal charges are pending. Dr. Riggle says alcohol was an escalating factor in the fracas, and another factor?
And there were some similar actions that happened the year before, but nothing that we really were knowledgeable of. And I think that the girls had that done to them that year, and now this year they've looked at that and said, you know, this is something that I've got anger about, and I want to do the same thing to someone else.
Some 200 people attended the off-campus game. Witnesses say buckets of animal and human waste were used in the hazing, along with paint thinner, blood, and spoiled food.
Obviously, I'm angry that this happened. I'm disgusted. I'm appalled 100%. I'm embarrassed to say that I go to Glenbrook North High School because of this. It's disgusting.
Now, while some remain outraged, others underscore that this incident should not sully the school's academic achievements that 97% of the student body that will be graduating will go on to college. And out of the 2,100 here in the student body, only 250 actually attended the Powder Puff game. However, the principal did point out to us that many of those seniors he saw there in the hazing were also accomplished students here, Paula. Students that may face criminal charges as late as Friday.
Our organizations are based on values.
Values are important ideals or beliefs that are lived every day by our members. Hazing is reckless, and it can affect the physical, academic, mental, and emotional health of a student.
And just because you have the consent of the participants doesn't make it okay or acceptable.
Some examples include paddling, branding, nudity, and forced consumption of alcohol or other illegal substances.
I don't believe in breaking someone down to build them up.
Hazing doesn't line up with our values and our beliefs.
We're tearing down hazing and its negative stereotypes.
Tearing it all the way down.
And we're building up
a more effective leader,
a well-rounded athlete,
a driven scholar,
a closer sisterhood,
a stronger brotherhood.
I pledge to educate others in making them aware of what hazing is.
I pledge to speak up and say, I do not tolerate these types of behaviors.
I made the pledge.
I made the pledge.
I made the pledge.
Will you make the pledge?